Yo, what's up, everybody? Chris here from Esports News, back again with another video. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a quick recap of what happened during day one, of course, of our CDL major, of course, that being Major 3, as well as what you can expect going to today's matches your time, of course, that being Friday, Stage 3, Day 2. So kicking things off, we had the Ravens taking on the Paris Legion, and as you guys know, I had the Ravens walking away with this one with a 3-1, and that's how it went down. Of course, I thought Paris would win the opening hardpoint, but they didn't. Ravens won 250 to 106 on Moscow. You guys know I said that Moscow was a hardpoint that strongly favored the Ravens if it came up. So, it is what it is. Of course, the Legion evened it up by winning the Moscow Search and Destroy 6-4. A little bit of a shock to me. The Legion have been not great in search. I think they're on an 8-game losing streak. And of course, the Ravens, I think they were 2-5 throughout stage 3. So they were definitely the better search team on paper, just didn't pan out. Of course, in the control, it was really close up until the end. I went 3-2 in favor of the Ravens. They closed it out at the end, but Paris definitely put up a very strong fight. And of course, in the checkmate hardpoint, we had the Ravens walking away 250 to 150. So really the takeaways there, strong performances from the Ravens and more of the same from the Legion. A lot of struggles. You guys know I said before, I saw that the Legion were really starting to kind of pull the puzzle together, if you will, at the end of stage 3, the regular season, that is. But, I didn't really have much confidence in them winning any series definitively. So here we are. Didn't win any series, but, maybe they go back to the drawing board and for stage 4, maybe they do a rehaul. Maybe they decide, hey, it's not working out with Classic. Let's go get, I don't know, an up-and-coming SMG player. Let me think of somebody, Spart or Saints. I think one of those guys could really help this team out a lot. And yeah, I think they need a roster change at this rate. It's just not working. Sib would definitely light things up for this team, in my opinion. So we'll see who they go for, if they go for anyone. But I think Paris, they're 1 star away from really being a solid team. Of course, in our next matchup, we had the Surge taking on the Gorillas. And you guys know I was backing the Surge to win this one. I thought they'd win this 3-1. But of course, the Gorillas, they ended up taking this. Excuse me. You guys know I thought the Surge would win this 3-2. But the Gorillas ended up taking this. They took the opening hardpoint, that being Gary hardpoint, 250 to 183. Really strong showing from the Gorillas. A few key mistakes from the Surge where they really let the game slip away from them, and that was the difference, ended up making the difference in this map specifically. The Express S&D went down to the wire, but Seattle pulled it out in a 6-5 fashion, brought it to around 11, and yeah, that was just unlucky for the Gorillas side. In the Gary control, of course, Gorillas won that one 3-1. They looked really good on the control. I believe this is their first win on Gary control this entire year, so it was a great showing for them, and it really shows they're starting to somewhat improve their map pool with more practice, more reps with Chino. And of course, on APOC map 4, Gorillas closed out 250, 155. Not really too surprising. Gorillas have been a very good-looking team on APOC. They have good fundamentals as a team, and APOC is a map that really tests your fundamentals as a team and your teamwork, your ability to break, especially on hills like P2 and P1. Your ability to chain those two together is really, I don't want to say it necessarily digs you into a hole if you're not able to chain either one together or break either one, but it kind of does. They're make or break hills. Of course, and Tiki is just so mixy. You can't really get a lot of time unless you're really just locking down both ends, of course, from Broken and then from the hut. So Gorillas, they looked good on this map. Kind of what you'd expect. You guys know I was expecting them to win map 4. I was expecting them to win map 2. Didn't do that. And then thought Seattle would win map 3. That didn't come to fruition, but I did take Gorillas map 3 on a live call. So in this series, I ended up going 2-2. Not too bad, but definitely not what I was expecting. Of course, in our next matchup, we had Faze taking on the Dallas Empire. This was another series I predicted correctly. 3-0 in favor of Faze. You guys know I was thinking the 3-0 would come through. I just don't like what I've seen from the Empire with Fellow. I don't think this is the right fit for them. I think they need to maybe swap Illy out for someone else, maybe John or a veteran player, maybe Saints, veteran SMG who really knows how to complement an entry player like Shotzi well, and really who's going to be a roaming Slayer. Illy's just a little too slow to be paired up with Shotzi as your 1-2 SMGs. When you're looking at other SMG duos like Havoc and Neptune or Abizi and Simp or even Scump and Envoy, It's not the same. Illy and Shotzi on subs, it doesn't work for me. Hook and Shotzi made sense, right? But Illy and Shotzi, I don't like it. And it hasn't worked out yet. So maybe it works out. Maybe Empire turns something around and they get a lot better. But as it stands, I don't like that pairing. Of course, phase one, APOC map one, 25209. They were 0-3 on APOC going into this, so that was a big, big showing for them. Like I told you guys, it showed that they were really trying to expand their map pool in stage three, and it really showed up today in this matchup. They won the S&D on checkmate 6-1. Really dominant performance. Cell went on a 9 spree and closed it out. And then in the controls, Cell went big again to close it out. He captured a point by himself to like close the game out, and he was just having a series, man. So shout out to Sulliam. You could do two phase up. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, phase looks great. And going into tomorrow against the Ultra, I strongly favor them to win it. I think they're back. Of course, in our last matchup of the day, we had a big time upset. You guys know I was backing the Thieves to win this 3-1. I didn't see the Mutineers getting past them just based on their difficulty of schedule comparison. Of course, Thieves having a really, really difficult schedule being in Group B, while the Mutineers had a relatively easy schedule that they couldn't really take advantage of. But the Mutineers, they clearly game planned. They came out hot, right? They won the checkmate hard point, map one, 250 to 233, clutched up at the end. I don't know what happened with Thieves. They gave up like 15 seconds of scrap time when they had about 230 points. They could have really, no, 233 points. They really could have like forced some engagements at P2 and they could have won the map with a break, but they got nervous, I guess, and they just sold. So same thing happened in the, of course, S&D. I don't know what happened at the end. Round 11, Neptune gets a two-piece. I think he got the ace in the round 11 too. It was a mess. Venom push and then Hoop push, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe what I'm seeing. Then, of course, the Thieves, they iced up on control, checkmate control. They won that 3-2. Good showing for them. And then Moscow, they lost at 250 to 216. Another case of a team not rotating to P3 early enough and it coming back to bite them in the butt. At this stage in the game, we know that teams chalk P2 at around the 40-second mark if they're not going to get a solid break, if the game's close, especially at the end. And I don't understand why these teams don't send their entry subs to like secure the spawns if they're already milking time in P2. You can fight for that time and contest it and still win. So I just don't get that strategy. Teams need to improve on that and stop doing it, frankly. So Thieves lost that series 3-1. Um, Mutineers, I don't know what to expect going into tomorrow. They're one of those teams that I really hate to predict because every time I support them, they lose, and every time I go against them, they win. So I just don't know. So getting nice segue, getting into tomorrow's matches, we have the Rocker taking on the Ravens. This one kind of perplexes me a little bit. Rocker, they've looked solid enough, but that series against Empire has me doubting them just a little bit. Ravens have been very hot. This might shock some of you guys, but I think I'm going to go with the Ravens on this one. I think I'm going to go with the Ravens in a 3-2. I think they beat the Rocker. And yeah, I think that's how it goes down. I really like what I've been seeing from the Ravens. I like what I saw from them today against the Legion. I like what I've seen from them in their last few matches. Of course, they did beat the Subliners, so that's something to consider as well. They had a really difficult schedule, of course, being in Group B. And I think that'll really show tomorrow when they play the Rocker. I think they're going to beat them on map one. Rocker's hardpoint has not looked too great. It's been all over the place. I think map two, surprisingly, will be pretty close. I think Rocker take that. I think it's going to be like 6-4 or so. Map three, I favor the Ravens to take that. Their control has been really good. I think they're on a 4-game win streak in control. They're looking to be one of the better hardpoint teams in this stage. So I think they win control. And I think they take map four again. They've been a really strong hardpoint team as of late. Shawnee's been playing hardpoint really, really well. And I think Ravens walk away with this one just because their respawn is so much stronger than Minnesota's at the current moment, in my opinion, based on what I've seen. In our next matchup, we have the Gorillas taking on Optic Chicago. And you guys know I've been put through the ringer this season. You guys know, obviously, I don't have to say it. I'm an Optic fan. And down bad. So going into tomorrow, I think Optic walk away with it. I don't know what to expect with this team anymore. It's just hard. And I'm hoping that they do what I expect them to do realistically and walk away with a 3-1 victory, but there are no guarantees, right? And close enough only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, I think is the saying. So I'm getting close to winning some of these matches and not closing them out. It's too much. Like, they got to figure this out. I think tomorrow they'll click, though. I have faith in them, and I think they'll win it 3-1. I think they take the opening hard point. I think they take the control, and I think they take the second hard point. I think rules take the search, even though Optic has been looking really good in search. Depends on what the maps are, but I think it's a 3-1 in favor of Optic. But based on how the maps are, it might be a 3-0. Of course, in our next matchup, we have a rematch of the grand finals from stage 2. We have Atlanta Faze taking on the Toronto Ultra. I see this one going all the way down to a game 5. I think Faze walk away with it, though. I think Ultra take the first hard point. I think Faze take the S and D. I think Faze take the control. I think Ultra take the second hard point, and then I think Faze take the game 5 S and D. But I also do recognize that Faze, they were improving their map pool and they were kind of trolling a little bit during stage 3. So maybe they win this one 3-1. All things considered, though, I think Faze is the stronger team. I don't really know what happened in Major 2, but I think Faze is a better team, and I think it'll show tomorrow. Of course, my last matchup of the day, I think the New York Subliners walk away with 3-0. I really do. I think the Thieves, they just came out really, really panicky, for lack of a better term. A lot of the plays they were making as you were watching, of course, from the perspective of a spectator, it just looked like there were a lot of very rushed engagements, especially with Hook and Venom. It looked like their pacing was a little bit off. They were playing a little bit too fast. And I think that's what happened to them. You could really see in the round 11, there were just a lot of play calls they made where they were not very logical and very just over committed, I would say. So I think they'll work things out, but I don't think Florida is necessarily that strong of a team. I think they just, like I've always said about Florida, if you show weakness, they'll capitalize on it. These guys are very, very, very good Call of Duty players. In this team, they have good teamwork and they have good fundamentals. So they're right there, but if you give them that inch, they'll make a mile out of it. So I think going up against a team like the New York Subliners, who've been so clinical, they're 8-0 in Search and Destroy in Stage 3, and they've only lost one series. Number 1 seed, they had a bye. I think they win it. I think they win it 3-0. I don't think Florida will be able to keep up with them in the Search and Destroy or in the hard point or in the control. So I see it as a 3-0 for New York Subliners. And if we get a checkmate anywhere in there, that's checkmate, right? Subliners winning that. So yeah, that'll just about wrap it up for me. Hope you guys have a great morning, noon, or excuse me. Hope you guys have a great morning, noon, or night wherever you may be on this beautiful planet. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Once again, this has been Chris from Fake Sports News, and I'm signing off. Be sure to enjoy all the COD. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe on this video. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.